It's time for Good Week Israel, where we'll give you ILTV's positive highlights this week. Get ready to smile because coming up, the Israeli national baseball team may be on its way to the Olympics. We'll get an exclusive tour of the historical Ein Kerem neighborhood in Jerusalem. And we hope you're hungry because we'll take an inside look at one of Tel Aviv's most trending new restaurants. So what sports will you be watching at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics? Well, you should be on the lookout for Israel's national baseball team because they finally got a shot at next year's Olympic Games. And ILTV's Nittany Manson has the scoop.
Today is a big day for Israeli sports because the Israeli national baseball team is about to fly out to Germany to get the chance to compete in the Olympics. While baseball is not such a widely recognized sport in the Holy Land, it is gaining popularity. And back in 2017, the team shocked everyone by placing 6th at the World Baseball Classic. And now they're ready to make another stand. What does it mean that you're going to be representing Israel?
It means a lot. I think that everybody's really excited to go out to the European Championships and win it.
It was important to my family to be part of this. We as the players made a huge sacrifice to come over here and spend some time and do all the legwork to get our paperwork done to be able to play. But it's exciting.
And they've only been gaining momentum. In July, Team Israel won 2 separate tournaments, one in Belgium, where they had a 6-game sweep, and another in Lithuania.
It's just really important to be able to play for something bigger than just baseball. So to be able to play for a country and also for an entire religion basically is just incredibly meaningful, and we all take that very seriously.
But why is this such a big deal? Well, it's actually the first time in 44 years that an Israeli team sport has had the opportunity to make it to the Olympics. Last time was for soccer in 1975. Now, when they arrive in Germany, they'll be facing 12 other European teams, all trying to come out in the top 5. The top 5 will then head to Italy, where they'll play another tournament, and the first place team there will be guaranteed a spot in the Olympics. Second place will still have a shot too after another round of qualifiers. So today, 18 Israeli baseball players who have all made Aliyah will be heading to Germany to play their hearts out.
Turning now to the Holy City, the Ein Kerem neighborhood in Jerusalem is a beautiful hillside village that's famous for its centuries-old holy sites. And ILTV's Emmanuel Kadosh took a tour of the town, stopping at some of the most famed locations. Check this out.
Often regarded as Jerusalem's most beautiful city, Ein Kerem is comfortably situated at the foot of the Jerusalem hills.
Welcome to the beautiful Ein Kerem. Originally, up until 1948, it was one of the city's suburbs. We know that people have been living here for at least the past 4,000 years. One of the people who were born here, according to the Christian tradition, is actually John the Baptist. It used to be a very wealthy, mostly Arabic-speaking village. We also had some Jewish families, we had some Christian families and Muslim families, all living here in the small suburb of Jerusalem. Right across the street, we actually have Mary's Spring, which is the heart of the village. According to the Christian tradition, the Virgin Mary arrived here to visit her cousin Elizabeth. While her cousin was carrying John the Baptist, the Virgin Mary was carrying Jesus. And before she started the great hike to visit her cousin, she stopped here at the heart of the city at the spring to take a sip of water. Right on top of it, the second floor that we have above the spring that is still running up until today, by the way, as you can see, is the mosque. Because for thousands of years, this Ein Kerem actually used to be a Muslim village. So just as the water is the heart of the village, the mosque was also the heart of the village.
So now we're walking up a church and a monastery that is actually called St. John Baharim. Baharim in Hebrew means in the mountains. According to tradition, St. John was born in this very crypt that the church is surrounding. All around the world, when you build a church, you cave a crypt and then you put the holy rock or the holy item, the holy relic in it. In the Holy Land, it's exactly the opposite. You find the holy site and then you surround it with a church. Now we're going to go to one of the nicest couples getaway you can find in this area. It's called the Allegra Boutique Hotel. What is the really amazing thing about it is the love story that is hidden behind the walls. So the builder, his name was Francis Jabra, and he was actually an Arab Christian. He was born and raised here in the village of Enkarem. Actually ran into this beautiful, beautiful Jewish Sephardic girl. Her name was Allegra Bello. She was coming from a Jewish Sephardic Orthodox family, and they actually started to run an affair. Now, both of their families were very against it because she came from a Jewish family, he came from a Christian family, and they actually ran away to the city of Bethlehem. She converted to Christian, and they ended up getting married. And eventually she told him, listen, I miss Jerusalem so much because we have to go back. And he said, you know what? I'll build you a really nice house in the village of Enkarem. And this is the house that he built for her, out of love.
Oh my God.
Now, since 2003, I have been absolutely addicted to the Israeli band Balkan Beatbox. So when I started hearing their beats in some of the most popular songs in Hollywood, I was more than shocked. Have a listen.
Every Israeli knows this song, but does it sound familiar to you? You may not know it, but you've probably heard it before, sampled in one of the biggest hits of 2013.
Talk dirty to me. Talk dirty to me.
Yes, huge Hollywood stars like Jason Derulo have been sampling music from one of the biggest bands in Israel. And if you didn't know them, meet Balkan Beatbox.
I trusted you, now you're full of attitude. We used to be addicted to each other. I trusted you, now you're full of
Tonight, Balkan Beatbox is celebrating the 10th anniversary of their hit album, Blue-Eyed Black Boy. We're about to go backstage to meet the legends themselves. Kamer Yosef, Ori Kaplan, and Tamir Muscat are the men behind Balkan Beatbox. Three Israelis from totally different cultural backgrounds, who happened to find themselves in New York City in the early 2000s.
I trusted you, now you're full of attitude.
Everybody in this country is coming from somewhere else. Friends are from Morocco, Egypt, Romania, Russia, everywhere. But I think that New York actually started bringing like the authenticity of our upbringing. Like when you're a stranger, somehow you're looking for identity and you find something that is deeper. So we started really checking ourselves under the lights of New York City.
Got a system and they see the money.
What Balkan Beatbox did was something completely new. They combined ancient musical traditions with modern-day hip-hop. Their first self-titled album received global acclaim.
On the rise, they don't wanna go.
When did you realize that you guys were creating something that was unbelievable?
I wake up every morning. That's what I'm thinking. Every time I look at myself in the mirror.
Most people really just don't know what to call this genre. I like to call it Mediterranean magic. Reggae, cumbia, brass, electronic dance music, Spanish flamenco. These are just some of the sounds that define BBB's music. Sounds that have been picked up by major Hollywood stars.
Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm real. Lo que sentimos.
Better act right, cause I smack dikes, give 'em blow and a bit of that bagpipe.
LA, pop culture music. Our music was a little bit of like a stamp that we have something special.
I think we were always this outsider sound band. Suddenly it's like it's right in the middle of the mainstream. It's a little bit like, you know, fuck you. When we play Hermetico today, people think that we're covering Derulo, you know?
All of BBB's success has led to perhaps their biggest achievement of all. They aren't signed to any record label, which means all the money they make goes back into the band to create new hits.
You actually play so much time together with like your dream team. And they are like your best friends.
Yeah, we've been like sound checking for this show yesterday. So I raised my hand and I'm like, shit sounds so good, you know. So
yeah, that's defining moment.
After
like,
12 years together, it's like almost looking at your wife after 15 years saying like,
I love you. I love you. I actually love you.
That's amazing, you know. It's like I feel so lucky.
Now, you may find this surprising, but there are Israelis who play American football in all of its forms. In fact, a major international flag football championship has just taken place in Jerusalem, and ILTV's Nittany Manson went to check it out.
This last weekend was a huge one for Israel because Jerusalem played host to the 9th European Flag Football Championship. This competition hosted over 400 players from 21 teams and 12 countries, all competing for that one goal, the gold. So what is flag football? Well, the rules are pretty similar to regular football, but this is a non-contact sport. So instead of tackling your opponent, the goal is to pull off the flags attached to his or her belt. The International European Championships have been happening every 2 years since 2003. But don't think the players get any time off, because in the off years, they also compete in the World Championships, which next year will be held in Copenhagen. What's your favorite thing you've eaten so far?
We didn't know about the kosher food before.
Kosher food is good, but you have to sneak out for some good stuff.
It's not allowed. It's not allowed. No.
Is this your first time in Israel?
Yes. Today we took a tour in Old Town. Now we can focus on games.
Probably not used to the heat, right?
No, I live in Scotland, so we're definitely not, no.
So, wondering who won big this year in Israel?
Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful.
Spain took it home for the women.
And there they go. Congratulations to the Spanish mob at midfield.
And over on the men's side, Denmark came out on top. Israel's men's team didn't do too shabby either, coming in at 4th place. But being the hosting team, I'm sure it still felt like a gold. What does it mean that the championships are here in Israel this year?
Well, the fact that we're hosting all of these countries and all these teams and bringing them to Jerusalem, I think is an amazing thing in itself.
Jerusalem is a lot more than what they read in the newspapers, not only for history and culture, but also for sport.
It took us a long time to get ourselves into the flag world. This is unbelievable. We're like sitting here in a dream.
This tall. How old are you?
I'm 26.
26? I need 30. I do like sweet.
Yeah, of course.
Delicious Israel is a tour company offering curated food tours around the markets and backstreets of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. ILTV's Emmanuel Kadosh teamed up with them to get a taste of the legendary Machne Yehuda market in Jerusalem. And man, did it make me hungry.
We are back here at the Machne Yehuda market, or Shuk, right here in Jerusalem. We're teaming up with the Delicious Israel girls to see what they're going to have us taste, where they're going to take us, and I can't wait to get exploring.
What's interesting about Jerusalem is we have all of these awesome restaurants, and they're mostly going to be kosher.
Right.
So the chefs have to get so creative. You've got, a meat restaurant that needs to have several vegetarian options, but they've got to be dairy-free, and that's where the chef's creativity really comes out.
So this is our first stop.
So here we are at Aricha Sabich.
So we finally got our sabich meal.
What we have inside is our fried eggplant. We've got some tomatoes, some cucumber. We have tahina, that's our sesame paste, hard-boiled egg, and we have amba, our tangy mango sauce. So all of these contents are actually what Iraqi Jews used to eat on Saturday mornings back in Iraq. And then they came to Israel and they brought with them this breakfast food. And what do we do in Israel? We shove food in a pita.
Wow.
Right?
That eggplant is unreal.
Yeah.
Now we have to actually eat the whole thing. Yeah. How do you make this look cute? We're about to go try one of my favorite things in Israeli dessert cuisine, you can say, the rugelach. It's this chocolate-looking croissant melted with delicious goodness, and it's best served hot. You can hear it sizzling, and everyone comes here from all over the world to try this delicious chocolate croissant-looking piece of heaven.
So basically what makes this rugelach very special, you have a lot of cocoa in it, a lot of coconut oil. And basically what I love about rugelach is that if you think about Yiddish culture, it's a very Yiddish kind of dessert, very Eastern European. So the rugelach actually has no dairy in it.
So it's considered palve, you could say?
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I know my religious terms.
Next up, we are going to Jachnun Bar to have something delicious.
Ooh, I love the energy at the shuk. I can't explain it.
We're about to eat malawach. It is a Yemenite, flaky, delicious flatbread, and we're gonna have it kind of like a pizza. What we're working with is some tahina, some grated tomato, which we always find with our Yemenite bread. We've got some fried eggplant, if you didn't already have enough. We've got fried onion, olive, green onion, and hard-boiled egg with za'atar on top.
You're eating with me. This is a must.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm not doing this alone. All right, guys, thank you so much for showing me around. I know we didn't get to do the official Delicious Israel food tour, but I can't wait to come back for part 2. And for everybody coming on a Delicious Israel food tour, make sure not to eat breakfast.
Thank you very much!
Speaking of food, and that's all that I generally like to speak about, there's a new street food restaurant in Tel Aviv that everyone just can't stop talking about. It's called Sonron, and my family actually opened it, but don't worry, this isn't biased. Sonron has gotten incredible reviews in some of Israel's leading publications, from Time Out Israel to Haaretz to Walla Food. Hope you're not too hungry. We are about to enter one of the best restaurants in Tel Aviv. This place has gotten rave reviews, and I'm not biased at all about it, even though my family opened it. This is my husband Rotem, and this is my sister-in-law Ophir.
Hello. רותם, מה יש לך בשיניים?
You're so annoying. Sit straight, smile and wave. You have nothing in your teeth. You're done. Take it out now. Not a good idea to try to direct your family members. That's all I'm gonna say.
ברוכים הבאים לסונרון.
תמיד רציתי לעשות משהו עם רותם. רותם הוא אח גדול שלי, אז...
And their first venture is Sonron, home to gourmet Indian Israeli street food with a French twist.
סון ורון על שם שתי הנערות בעיר ליון. אופיר גרה שם ב4 שנים האחרונות, משם הבאנו את הקונספט של אוכל רחוב עם תנור טנדורי.
אני הייתי אוכלת שם במקום הזה לפחות פעמיים בשבוע. לדעתי זה האוכל הכי טוב בליון.
לפני חצי שנה אופיר אמרה לי, רותם, אתה חייב לבוא.
So the Sonron has 3 options: the chicken dish, the kebab dish, the vegan dish. Now you can get them either in a bowl or in a wrap, depending on what you like. Guys, Rotem, can you? This is the Sonron. It's a trademark Sonron dish. It's chicken that's been marinated for 24 hours in a yogurt-spiced Indian sauce, so it's extremely tender. I love to order the vegan dish. It's essentially cauliflower, sweet potato, tahina, green onion mashed up with tons of special spices, wrapped in cabbage and rice paper with semolina on top. So when it's put into the 500-degree tandoori, it's crunchy on the outside and squishy on the inside in just the right way. Last but not least, this is the kebab dish. It's rump steak kebab. This is what I deal with on a daily basis. Last but not least, we have the Sonron kebab. This is a rump steak kebab cooked in lamb fat. You know, it's a winner. Everything here is a winner.
גדלנו על האוכל הזה בבית.
אבא שלנו תמיד בישל מאוד פשוט, מאוד טעים, הרבה טעמים, הרבה תבלינים. אנחנו דואגים שבכל יום נסיים את כל המכסה של המנות שהכנו, ככה שבכל יום אנחנו מכינים מחדש.
אפילו את הבצק אנחנו מכינים פה, הכל באמת טרי, טרי.
אוכל רחוב לא חייב להיות אוכל ברמה נמוכה, יכול להיות אוכל ברמה מאוד גבוהה, אם עובדים עם מרכיבים כמו שצריך, אם עושים את הדברים נכון.
Now, Israelis have already started returning to their classrooms, but let's take one more summer trip with ILTV's Emmanuel Kadosh to a place that may just be the real-life Garden of Eden. Check it out.
Gan HaShlosha, located in the Lower Galilee, is believed by some to be the real-world location of the Garden of Eden. That's why Time magazine crowned it one of the most beautiful parks in the world, and I'm here to check it out and see if it lives up to its legacy.
The nature created the place, and people know about it maybe from the prehistory till today.
The temperature of the spring water is at a 28 degrees Celsius or a warm 82 degrees Fahrenheit all year round.
It's also healthy water because There is a lot of mineral that they collect from the ground. You can't drink it, but you can swim and enjoy it very much. You know, the Arabic and Jewish and old-timer and newcomer from Russia immigrant, and of course tourists from all of the countries. That's why maybe 500,000 people come to visit in the year. Just back from the Jewish Museum in New York and some other places. This collection is a very rare, maybe the only one in the Middle East. And after they took it to Italy and then it's back to here. From the Bible time, then till the Roman, 2,000 years of Greek and Roman and Etruscan and other collections. Maybe the Italian or the Greek has 1,000 like that, but not more than this. The museum built on a biblical tell mount from King Solomon time, 3,000 years ago.
Shlosha is also the location of Tel Amal, the first tower and stockade settlements which Jewish pioneers established back in the 1930s. Tel Amal was actually constructed in just one night, and they restored it to show the dining room, the kitchen, the living quarters, and kind of give a sense of the way of life of the settlers. So this is what a dining hall would look like back in the 1930s. Looks like a camp dining hall. So these are the living quarters where the settlers would have been sleeping. Let's go check this out. No, it doesn't want to heat open. These are the living quarters. Next time you complain to your parents that your room isn't big enough because you're sharing it with your sibling, take a look at this.
Go get me out of this water because the fish are eating me.
That's all for this week's episode of Good Week Israel. I hope we've got you heading into the weekend in a good mood. See you next week.